Chaim. Welcome to the Farbrengen. New year, new Torah portion. So first of all, we're starting Bereshis, and we're leaving all of the holidays, and we're taking the brachas of the holidays with us. But an interesting thing, a narrative in the Torah tells us that when the world was first created, the world had two suns, and one of them was the sun, and one was the moon. And God made the moon smaller, and the moon is the celestial being which rules over the night. So the idea is that the moon, and an interesting thing about that. So the Jewish calendar is based on a corrected lunar calendar. In other words, it's a lunar calendar mainly, and then it has a solar correction so that the spring always comes, so Pesach always comes out in the spring. So the lunar calendar is missing a whole bunch of days, and you would think that when it comes to making a leap year and having a lunar correction, that you'll add in whatever days are missing, and then that's it. But we don't do that. Jews don't do that. Our correction, the lunar calendar, the leap year has a whole month, an extra month, and not only an extra month, but a month in Adar, which is the month of Simcha, which is the month of joy. And Adar represents the whole idea of what? Of Purim. Purim is a time when there was a decree against the Jewish people to exterminate the entire Jewish people, God forbid. And instead of being a time of sadness and tragedy, it became a time of joy and gladness. So it's a whole month of joy and gladness. Instead of just adding the few days that you need to make up that kind of extra time in the calendar, you get a whole month, and not a month of Adar. What does it tell us? The Torah starts with Bereshis. Bereshis means, it says, Bereshis is the idea. God looked into the Torah and created the world. Staka boraisa, abora olma. God looked into the Torah and created the world, which means that since the Torah pre-existed before the world, and the Torah is the condition with which the world was made, therefore, in a certain way, there is nothing in the world that can truly stand against or interfere with the Torah. And so, therefore, we come to this idea of light or darkness and all these things. So when we convert them over and be able to utilize them for what they were made for, which is good thing, which is basically to take them and convert them to good, we don't fill in the blanks, but we get an exponential improvement, an exponential goodness. We get a whole month of joy. Instead of just filling in those little extra days, you need a whole month of joy. The idea is, it says, the idea is that not only does a person take problems or issues or darkness, but the idea is to convert the darkness actually into light, to take the lesson from that, and use them for positive experiences and positive purposes. So, first of all, this is the end of the month of Tishrei. We're going from Tishrei into Cheshvan. We're going from a holiday which is a month which is full of so many holidays, and each one of the holidays gives us another blessing and another kick in the pants in a good way, etc., etc. And going into Cheshvan, which is just stam, normal week, but that's where the rubber hits the road. That's where it makes a difference. So that's what it says. So the traditional wish is Yaakov holach ladarko. The expression is Jack hits the road. We're going to not just go, but we're going to go higher and higher, jumping from one level to another, even when we're able to withstand anything that God throws at us in a good way and convert it over to holiness and goodness and godliness. Anyway, l'chaim, and have a great Shabbos. Whatever it says, that the way a person establishes this Shabbos Bereshis is the way it should be is the way the whole year goes. So the whole year should be, all the Shabbos of the year and the whole year should be with tremendous blessing. L'chaim.